You ever really bombed something, in particular, maybe a talk in front of a bunch of students? That's kind of how I feel I did today when I spoke to the students at Norfolk State University. And so I wanted to record this video with the message I had intended. I'm Nancy Schick of Third Year Conflict Resolution. I am an employment attorney and mediator based in New York City for the past 22 years, but my practice there, third year conflict resolution, has only been in business for 21 years only. Right. I wanted to tell them about how I grew up poor in Kentucky, the youngest daughter of three to my mom, who raised us on about $70 a week. Sometimes the church was bringing us food, and we needed a lot of support after my parents split up. But my mom instilled in me that I was going to go to college. She didn't know how we were going to pay for it. Basically, what she said is you're going to do all the things that you need to get involved in things at school, play sports, and of course, get good grades, stay out of trouble, because you're going to need to figure out how to get your college degree. Then I finally got there. My mom got cancer. I had a nephew who needed additional parenting, and basically life got in the way. It took me 6 years to finish my undergraduate degree. I was working multiple jobs. I was taking care of my nephew and my mom and juggling all those responsibilities, like a lot of students, especially at the commuter schools, especially at the state schools. I got my taste for law while I was at United Parcel Service. Just like everybody else, I started on the line moving boxes. I was in the international division. It opened my mind to the fact that the world was so large and there was so much going on in so many different directions. I got promoted, and often the employees that people had trouble with, they would move into my area, and it was usually that employee, that they're about to fire, and they would move them over with me, and I could get them to show up on time and produce what was required to keep their jobs. At that point, UPS, I think someone said, maybe she belongs in human resources. That's where I got education on employment laws, conflict resolution, and all those employment related workplace dispute opportunities. I loved helping people work through those. Then I went and worked in the sport industry, however, because that was where I was getting my degree. I worked a couple of years in the sport industry until I was terminated from that job. I sued that employer. I won my lawsuit, and I decided that might be the sign to start law school. I already had planned on going to school in the off seasons, but life had a little bit of different plan, and I ended up learning civil procedure in the courtroom and the classroom simultaneously. You might look at me, as a lot of the students I'm sure today did, and say, okay, you're at a historically Black university. I have privileges that not everybody does because of my skin color, and I don't take that lightly. Yet, the message I had for the students today is you have a lot of opportunities at Norfolk State. For any of you that have the privilege of going to college, remember that you have a lot of resources there. People like me didn't necessarily have that as first generation college students and college graduates, much less law school. Take advantage of all the resources that are there. There is no shame in absorbing everything you can, especially if you're at an HBCU. You haven't had all the opportunities. Take what's being offered to you and create something beautiful with it. There are going to be awkward moments. We were at an etiquette luncheon today where they were learning how to, and I should say we, because I was learning as well, learning all the different place settings, when to eat, when to pick things up, how to eat, which topics to avoid, why there are so many place settings, etc. One of the key takeaways I got was that you always move things to your partner to the right. Say, for example, it's salad dressing. You pass it to the person to your right. You don't take it first. It's saying, I'm a person that values you and I'm not all just about me. It's those little nuances that shape who we are, shape who you are in a way that you want to be. And of course, keep listening with your third ear for those hurts you can heal.